In the mists of time, before the pyramids etched their familiar shapes against the sky, a kingdom was forged along the Nile. This was the dawn of Egypt, a time of unification and conflict, where kings whose names are now barely whispers laid the foundations of a civilization that would last for millennia. We know the legends of Khufu, Tutankhamun, and Ramesses the Great. But what of those who came before? What of the shadowy figures who ruled during Egypt's fragile infancy? In the heart of this ancient past, shrouded in mystery, lies the story of one such king. His name was Senedj, the Second Dynasty of Egypt, a period stretching from roughly 2890 to 2686 BC, is one of the most obscure in the nation's long history. It was a turbulent era, a time when the newly unified kingdom of Upper and Lower Egypt seems to have fractured. The historical records are sparse, fragmented, and often contradictory. Our primary sources are king lists, like the Abydos king list and the Turin canon, written centuries, even 1,000 years, after the events they describe. We also have precious few contemporary artifacts, stone vessel inscriptions, seals, and funerary stelae that provide fleeting glimpses into this lost world. It is from these scattered puzzle pieces that we must reconstruct the reign of King Senedj. According to the most reliable king lists, Senedj was the fifth ruler of the Second Dynasty. He followed a king named Enigmatic, and his reign is placed firmly in the middle of this chaotic period. The name Senedj itself is intriguing. Written with the hieroglyph of a goose, it simply translates to the feared one or the fearful. Was this a reflection of his personality, a title meant to inspire awe and respect in his subjects and fear in his enemies? Or was it an admission of the precarious times in which he lived? The truth, like so much from this era, is lost to the sands. The capital of Egypt at this time was likely Memphis, the city founded by the first kings. From here, Senedj would have presided over a nascent bureaucracy, a state still learning how to govern. Imagine a royal court not of gold and splendor, but of sun-dried mud brick and austere linen. Scribes would be busy, their reed pens scratching across papyrus, recording grain yields, tax collections, and royal decrees. The king was the divine intermediary between the gods and the people, his authority absolute. His primary duty was to maintain the cosmic order of truth, balance, and justice. In a time of apparent division, upholding that would have been a monumental task. The central mystery surrounding Senedj and the Second Dynasty is the political landscape. Some evidence suggests that the kingdom had split. Rulers in the south, at Abydos, used the Horus name, identifying with the falcon god, the traditional protector of the king. Meanwhile, some rulers in the north, perhaps including Senedj, began using the Seth name, or both. Seth was the god of chaos and the desert, the mythical enemy of Horus. Did this signal a religious schism, a civil war, or a peaceful division of administrative power between the royal houses? Senedj's name, however, does not appear with either a Horus or a Seth title in contemporary sources. He is simply king of Upper and Lower Egypt, Senedj. This might suggest he was a ruler who sought to present himself as a unifier, a figure who stood above the divine conflict, attempting to hold the two lands together. Archaeological evidence for Senedj is tantalizingly scarce. We have no confirmed tomb for him, though it's widely believed he was buried at Saqqara, the great necropolis of Memphis. A gallery in the subterranean levels beneath the step pyramid of his successor, Djoser, may have been his original resting place, later cleared out and repurposed. This lack of a grand tomb is typical for the period. The monumental pyramid building that would define the Old Kingdom was still a generation away. The kings of the Second Dynasty were buried in mastabas or underground galleries, impressive for their time, but dwarfed by what was to come. What we do have are a few precious objects bearing his name. Fragments of alabaster and schist bowls, inscribed with the royal cartouche of Senedj, have been found at Saqqara. These were likely part of his funerary equipment, elegant but simple items for the afterlife. A bronze statuette of a kneeling king holding incense burners, now in a Berlin museum, is inscribed with the name Senedj. However, stylistically, it appears to be from a much later period. Perhaps a tribute made by a later dynasty honoring this ancient ancestor. It tells us that Senedj was not forgotten. He was remembered, revered enough to have his likeness cast in bronze 1,000 years after his death. Perhaps the most fascinating legacy of Senedj comes from a medical text, the Ebers Papyrus. Written over 1,000 years after his reign, this famous scroll, a compilation of ancient medical remedies and spells, claims that one particular prescription for treating goose flesh was originally created for King Senedj. While likely a legend created to give the text ancient authority, it shows that the name of Senedj survived in the cultural memory of Egypt. He was not just a name on a king list, he was a character in their stories, a figure from the hallowed past, the feared one who ruled in the dawn of their civilization. His reign likely lasted for around 2 decades. A short time, but an eternity in this distant epic. He ruled over a land of farmers and craftsmen, a society bound by the rhythm of the Nile's flood and the authority of their divine king. He navigated political turmoil that we can only guess at, leaving behind just enough evidence to prove he existed, but not enough to fully understand him. He was a bridge, a link in the chain of pharaohs stretching from the first king, Narmer, to the last, Cleopatra. As the sun sets over the Saqqara Plateau, casting long shadows across the ancient sands, the mystery of Senedj endures. He remains a spectral figure, a king of shadows. His story is a powerful reminder that history is not just about what we know, but also about the vast, silent ocean of what we have lost. The silence of the Second Dynasty speaks volumes, telling of a struggle for the very soul of Egypt. From this uncertainty, a new era of stability would emerge. The stage was set for a king who would not only reunite the two lands but would revolutionize architecture and redefine what it meant to be a pharaoh. The successor to Senedj would usher in the Old Kingdom, and with it, the age of the pyramids. The story of that king, or ruler named Khafre, is where our journey must continue. Thank you for watching. If you wish to continue exploring the dawn of ancient Egypt, be sure to subscribe and join us for our next chapter.